The constant is change. Change is uncomfortable. We know that we don't have growth and comfort.
One of our value system is based on the word peach, and one of the E's in peach, there's one E, but you have two E's: experimentation and execution. Several team members I've talked to you guys where if you're from the banking sector or you're from very regulated environments, I've heard the complete opposite, which I'm just like, well, I think they're going to be dead pretty soon, which is they're not allowed to use any of these tools. And so, I mean, we are encouraging the opposite. But there was a Wall Street Journal article that came out, I think earlier this year or last year, where it said leaders within the organization, not necessarily hierarchical, but leaders who are able to get access to, and they're already going to be moving forward with these tools, the gap is going like this pretty quickly. Where those, like, I at this point don't know how I could ever go back. It's not possible. My productivity would be just decimated relative function. But on the flip side, most of us are not doing it with every single aspect of our life. We may have, hey, what's the latest workout or health or nutrition? Like you said, there's the shadow / personal environments. And, you know, for example, Claudebot or OpenClaw came out two Fridays ago, and it's I think it is a transfer. I think it's an inflection point in human history.
Yes.
I don't think everybody really fully grasps what that means. And we've said you can't install Claudebot on your personal corporate devices. I think there's a lot of obviousness to that. That being said, immediately after I talked to Vamsi, our head of cybersecurity, and I've talked to Vineet on some of the different hosting solutions and Ben to figure out, I'm already to the point where if we can't get this in a safe environment as soon as possible, where everybody in the company has their own Claudebot, again, it's an inflection point of productivity that is so much higher that just prompting on my ChatGPT and prompting on Claude versus having a full agentic transformational agent that can do pretty much anything a human can do can take a person's productivity from like 2x, 3x on a regular LLM to I think 10, 20x once you start to grasp what it can achieve. And there's this balance, right? Where corporate policy,
Sure.
PII is, we're hypersensitive because we've got like 50 million plus Americans PII. So security numbers, account routing numbers, debit card, credit card numbers. So that's that whole ecosystem. And I think Ben's probably on the call and Vamsi's in the office here, where we generally have a healthy paranoia around PII. But at the same time, I am not going to wait till everything is 100%, maybe 85%. And so I'm going to hope that the values of the team members that we have, combined with some common sense, is going to prevent some of the issues. And then we have to have, it's a race, right? I can't prevent, it doesn't matter how good cybersecurity is, it's always going to have an issue. So there's this balancing act between latest, greatest tool technology to corporate policy says X, Y, Z. And then what you said is there's this underground shadow network of, hey, I'll kind of just copy and paste this and see if I can get around it because I don't want to have less productivity. How have you seen that kind of manifest within organizations saying like, because next month there's going to be a new tool. I was just talking to Vineet about PicoClaw, and I was like, well, can we use PicoClaw? Because it has the ability to, I could do 100 PicoClaws versus one OpenClaw at the same processing function of using a Mac Studio. And that just came out, what was it, like a week ago? Was it last week or this week? PicoClaw. It was last week that came PicoClaw. Now, I don't know if anybody knows what the hell PicoClaw is, but the point is, this shit is moving so fast.
Yeah.
So, and no organization that I know is able to move at the speed of the change. So what do we do?
So we know that things are going to keep changing. I didn't know the Pikachu claw was out, but that's cool.
We'll call it Pikachu. I'll give that to Shao. We'll call it Pikachu.
No, the constant is change. Change is uncomfortable. We know that we don't have growth and comfort. So we have to accept this reality that things are going to continue on. one of the frameworks we use at Human Pilots is ARC. It's adaptability, resilience, and confidence. So we know that we have to keep adapting. We have to build the resilience to keep moving forward, and with the confidence to, credibly make those decisions when they need to be made. Not making a decision is still a decision. So how do we adapt? There's so much happening. There is some value in saying we're not going to try to learn everything. There is too much. And we can't learn everything. There is value in saying, here's selectively what we're going to use that's going to drive us towards our goals and what we're not going to use. And being able to share that, saying, you know what, I know that Pikachu and all the Pokemons are out, but like, I'm going to experiment with Open Claw and let's see whatever they name it next week. But like, that is an inflection point, by the way. That's where it totally breaks up from designing for human interaction along software to, and humans are logical. So coming from like the UX side of how it all works in e-commerce and the regular flows, it's gone. It's a whole different layer. So if you think about like a product like Journey Map and we're going to, discovery funnel this and go down this and nope. They're already hacking across how they're going to do it.